Welcome to the Strength Matters podcast. If you're new to the show, thank you so much for tuning in. Please make sure to subscribe and review when you have a few minutes to spare. We really appreciate all your comments and feedback. With me, as always, is my co-host and newest member of the Wales Over 40s cricket team, James Breese. James, give yourself a little round of applause for that. With your, where are you with your sound effects?
It's over here. I haven't
That's
turned
terrible.
it on.
That's terrible. You haven't put the sound effects on. You're not
I was
ready.
I was waiting for the insult. I was waiting for the insult.
I decided not to insult you this time. I'm being nice again.
Saving it up for me.
I insulted you on the last podcast, so I've got to be nice this time. We're going to keep doing that.
Thanks.
We also have a very special guest who I asked for a bio earlier on today, and he said, I don't know. I'm too lazy. He didn't really say that. I've put that in his, put those words in his mouth. Please just make one up. So, in the true 21st century spirit, we asked ChatGPT to do one for us. And this is, we're going to do the whole thing. Strap yourselves in. It's a long one. Ladies and gentlemen, I have to tell you, our next guest is someone who might just inspire you to put down that donut and pick up a dumbbell instead. This is a guy who knows a thing or two about endurance, and not just when it comes to sitting through my monologue. He's a personal trainer, an avid endurance athlete, and if medals were dollar bills, this guy would be sipping pina coladas on his private island right now. His life is a relentless pursuit of physical excellence, and he's got the medals to prove it. I swear this man has more medals than a general in a military parade. And don't even get me started on his maps. Most of us use Google Maps just to find the nearest coffee shop. Not this guy. His maps are covered with trails, routes and paths that he's conquered. I looked at one and I swear it looked like a toddler went wild with a crayon. This is a man who doesn't just push the envelope, he drop kicks it across the finish line. I like that. He might be the only person in history to consider a marathon a warm-up. Ladies and gentlemen, James Breese, be ready with the claps. Put your hands together and give a warm, calorie-burning welcome to the Strength Matters podcast special guest, the indomitable, the indefatigable... No, can't say that word. I'm going to skip that one. The man with more medals than a Swiss ski team, Mr. John Withinshaw. Indefatigable.
That's the one.
Indefatigable. Is that one? That's the one I messed up. I thought I might mess that
And
up.
that is in the style of David Letterman, as I typed into like ChatGPT. So you got to thank
that's
David.
the worst David Letterman impression I think ever.
I'm impressed with that. I must admit. You managed to do that without tripping over your bottom lip. It was awesome. Well done.
Thank you. That was almost sight read there, which is why I cocked up that one word. But there you go. John, how you doing, mate?
Very well, thank you. How are you?
Good. Yeah, I'm good. I'm better after doing that. I need to take another sip of coffee after that introduction. James, take over. It was too long. Dry throat.
Mate, how you doing? Last time we spoke to you, you've been off in Croatia doing some crazy event. Do you want to tell the listeners? I was going to say readers again. Then do you tell the listeners what you got up to that week?
Yeah, it was a rat race event. I don't know if anybody's aware of rat race and what they do, but they do.
I didn't even know rat race was still going. To be honest, mate.
Well, they are. They came away from the whole obstacle race scene and went into adventure races and endurance stuff. So, but they've kind of packed up a lot of the survival of the fittest, the deer stalker, the dirty weekend. They've packed all those up, and they've just gone into the long endurance stuff. But they're starting to go worldwide as well, and they just happened to do one in Croatia, which is a multi-sport event. We like the look of, so we booked that and popped over there to do that.
I love it. Just popped over. Tell us, come on, a little bit more detail. What were the sports? How long was it? How many days, miles, etc.?
It was 100 miles in total. It was island hopping around the peninsula of Croatia. It started off with a 50k ultra. That was day one. Day two was...
I love it. It just started off with a 50k ultra.
Just as a warm up, just to bend the feet up a little bit. We went from that to a k and a half stand-up paddleboarding. Then it was on to a 66k mountain bike ride, followed by a 10k. Was it 10k? 6k run at the end around the walls of Ston in Croatia. Which anybody who's into
Game of Thrones.
What's it called? TV program.
Game of Thrones.
That's the one. It's where the dragons were, but there were no dragons there, fortunately for us.
Boo.
Day 3 was a kayak day. That was 33k in total, kayaking on the sea. It was broken up roughly halfway with a 5k run across an island, and then we finished off coming into Dubrovnik at King's Landing, and it was absolutely
Love
epic.
it.
Absolutely epic. It was great fun. I'm still reeling on it, and it's.
Oh, look, here he goes. He goes to the medals now.
You like the
Brilliant.
sound?
What was the toughest bit, mate?
What was the what? Sorry.
The toughest part.
For me, stand-up paddleboarding. I've never done it before. I'm not a big fan.
And
of
you don't
water.
like swimming, right?
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of water. No. I control drowning, I call it. That's about as good as it gets. I think the gods were smiling on me on that day because it was absolutely flat calm. Absolutely flat calm. And it was 7 o'clock in the morning, so it was the first thing we did, and it was absolutely beautiful. The sun was coming up over the islands and the mountains, and we were just cruising across. It was, absolutely sublime.
No, it sounds amazing. I've wanted to go to Croatia for ages because the coastline there is just, from pictures of obviously that I've seen, it's just stunning, isn't it? Absolutely stunning.
If you're going to do it now. Do it as soon as you can before it gets trashed.
Really?
Yeah. Do it now before, especially the island hopping. They're pretty much as they are. They haven't been trashed too much by tourism. So I'd get over there as soon as you can. It is fantastic.
Wow.
Fantastic place.
Awesome. James, have you ever done stand-up paddleboarding?
I have. I used to go down in Melbourne quite a lot, most mornings, and I loved it. It was great. I'm not a big swimmer. I'm not a big fan of it, having always drowned as a kid. But no, there's something about stand-up paddleboarding I loved, particularly, and for whatever I don't know what it is. There's a big difference between standing up on the board and paddling, and on your knees. I found on your knees paddleboarding is one of the best core workouts I've ever done, and I don't know what it is, but it makes you the most hungry afterwards as well. There's something about it that stokes your metabolism or whatever it does. And it makes you like hungry like the wolf, and you wake up next door and your core is like on fire, like you feel it, like boom. It's like it just works, and you want to go running. It might even improve your running actually if you're doing the paddleboarding on your knees and stuff, then going to a run. It's like classic core activation work right into it. So
yep, absolutely. And it's
cool.
Not
there we go. A
based.
tip for all runners.
yeah,
It's not power based at all, is it? Because you can't go hard at it. You'll just end up spinning round and round in circles.
yeah, you would do. Like a whole, it would do.
Yeah, it's not a sprint race.
Brilliant. By the way, were there time cut-offs, mate? Did you have to get to do each bit in a certain amount of time?
Not really, no. That's not the idea of what they're doing. It's an adventure. The 50k ultra can be run or hike.
Cool.
It took us 7 hours to do it. I think the slowest person did it in about 10. But I think that's the beauty of it. It's doable. It's totally doable. You've got to have a certain, a base level of fitness, a decent level of fitness, and you'll be able to do it without a problem. Anybody, pretty much. I think they do races throughout their calendar that are a lot tougher, more race orientated. But I think you can race it if you wanted to. But the idea is you go and have a massive experience, and that's exactly what we did.
Yeah, sounds awesome. Right, let's dive deep into this podcast. Obviously, we're here to learn more about you, John, and of course, you are a HCP student as well. So we're going to talk all about that and your recent experience with us in Essex. First of all, though, can you just tell the listeners a little bit more about yourself and how you got into the fitness industry?
It's like the ultimate icebreaker, this, isn't it? You know, that beginning of
a little bit, yeah.
each thing that you have to do. And, this is me. I'm me. I'm really, really uninteresting.
Oh, no.
Honestly,
Just have a wall full of medals. It's like Ron
Yeah, I was
Burgundy's
gonna say,
leather-bound
there's no-
books.
that just happened all the time. There's all sorts in that. But I started off in the fitness industry, working out really, back in the late 90s, early noughties. As a history, and I think I've told you both this before, but originally it was because I had lower back pain. And I think a lot of people who get into the fitness industry have got some kind of reason like that they get into it. They want to help more people who go through the same as them.
That was the same as me, mate. That was the same as me. Back pain was what started everything off for me.
Yeah, you want to learn. You want to learn how to do it, and you think, "Oh my God, I've just found out how to possibly avoid having back pain." And I just want to share this with the world. How can I best do that? And that's the only way to do it. And then you realise how big the fitness industry is, and that you can only help a small proportion of those. But that small proportion, if you help them, that's the greatest feeling in the world. I got qualified at the European Institute of Fitness by a guy called Darren Tebenham. You may or may not have heard of him. I think most people probably have. And I started out in when I went self-employed, which was pretty much straight away. I never went through the gym route, like the Total Fitness or anything like that, or Fitness First. I basically just converted a double garage at home and started there, and I had a field to play with, so I just chucked a load of I filled downpipes with water and capped them off. I got a load of sandbags,
Nice.
bought some
Good old
resistance
slush pipe.
bands, and just made it as raw as possible, but had so much fun doing it. And the good thing about it, or how it really grew, was I trained about 18 lads that I knew to run an obstacle race. I think it was a 10-mile obstacle race called the Yorkshire Warrior, which was the first thing I ever did. And then I got the running bug from that. Went through the obstacle race route for quite a few years, did Tough Mudders, Spartans, the Spartan Trifecta, done Total Warriors. What else have I done? Oh, Tough Guy. That's probably the hardest obstacle race I've ever done.
I was just about to ask you. My
Guy's
next
an old
question,
school
John,
one.
was my next question, John, was what was the toughest race you've done?
That one.
And I was going to ask you if you'd done Tough Guy, because I have also done Tough Guy, and it was hell on earth.
It was January the 29th, and it was fucking freezing. There was ice on the water.
Yeah.
It was shocking. And of course,
Out of interest, what year did you do that, mate? Because I'm sure I did mine on January the 29th as well.
it was.
I'm trying to remember. Oh, look at him. He's going back.
He's going back to his medals. Look at this.
It was 2017.
Right, okay. No, I did it
It
bit
was
before that, but
30th.
it's always in winter.
Yeah,
Tough Guy's
always.
always in winter. So 2012, I think I did Tough Guy.
Okay.
And I don't think I've ever been so cold in my entire
Yes.
life. I met up with some friends in the evening, and someone
Yeah.
offered me a beer, and I was like, no, I want a cup of tea.
How long did it take to undo your shoelaces afterwards?
Oh my God, someone had to help me undo my shoelaces.
The hardest thing in the world
I
to do.
couldn't. Yeah, my fingers didn't work. I couldn't undo them. It was impossible. Couldn't get them off.
Well, I was driving.
Brilliant.
I've still got it. I was driving a BMW at the time, and I kind of roughly knew where it was, and I booked hard standing parking because rear-wheel drive on a grass field in January ain't going to end well.
No.
In the write-up as well, you could also book yourself a hot shower. Now, neither of these things exist.
Yeah, exactly.
Neither of these things exist.
Yeah.
So at the end of a freezing cold run, absolutely, I think we're almost hypothermic. Must have been almost hypothermic. Couldn't get my shoes off. I just thought, right, where are these showers? And I was asking everybody where these showers were. And they were pointing me to this hose pipe in the corner. But the hose
Pretty
pipe
much,
had ragging
yeah.
on it, and I think that was their idea of heated water. So the water was cold when it came out, but it was still warmer than I was. For a very brief amount of time, it just about allowed me to undo my shoelaces. But then it took us nearly 2 hours
I remember,
to get off the car park.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember going around and someone, I don't know, I'd crawled through an electrified tunnel or something in the pitch black or something, I don't know, and someone handed me a jelly baby on the other side. I've never been so glad to have a jelly baby in my life.
Yeah, you kind of don't care what they've touched before that, do you?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely
But
not.
that's
There you
supposed
go,
to
guys. Go
replicate,
be a
isn't
tough
it?
guy. It's
It's supposed to replicate
I'm
the
assuming
World
tough.
War
It's a,
trenches, wasn't it?
is it?
That's the idea behind
yeah.
it. And it's
Yeah.
probably pretty close.
Yeah.
Wow. Is Tough Guy still? Because I haven't seen anybody do Tough Guy for quite some time. Is it still going?
Oh, gosh, I don't know, actually.
They changed the name to Mr. Mouse, didn't they? After
Yes,
one.
they
I
did.
think that was
Yeah,
the last
the
of
guy who
Tough
runs it
Guys,
is an
the 30th
absolute
anniversary.
nutcase.
But they changed the
Yeah.
name of it. But I think it does still run, but I don't think it's as possible as popular as it used to be. But it is. That's the hardest thing I've ever done.
Yeah.
Cool.
My dad did it twice in the 90s, so it was something I had to do to
Yeah.
say I've also done it as well. Yeah, that course has been there literally since the early 90s, and it's not been changed.
And the amount of moss on those wooden beams.
Yeah. Death trap. James, you're going to have to do this. You're going to
No.
have to do this now.
No, I can literally I'm happy. I'll do some snowboarding thing.
I'll go ours with you, Josh. We'll pay for him.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Your next birthday
be-
present, mate.
Yeah, I'll be doing my hair. Sorry, guys. Sorry about that.
Anyway, so that's the toughest race we've both ever done. Back to the matter in hand. You've also got your own studio now. So how long have you had that?
Ooh, this one I think I've had nearly 8 years now. 8 years? Yeah, about 8 years. Yeah, it's only a tiny little one, but
Yeah,
it keeps
got
me from
everything
paying
you need,
rates.
though, right?
Pardon?
It's got everything you need. It might be small, but it's jam packed.
It is rammed. It is rammed with stuff. I can't fit any more in there.
Actually, and we've been there as well, haven't we, Josh? We've both been
We
there.
have indeed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where is that video, James? It must be
It's
lurking
online.
somewhere.
It's online on the YouTube channel. When because John was doing a client of ours going through some of the training. It's ages ago now. It must be 5 years or so ago now. But yeah, no, it's online. It's on the YouTube channel. We'll dig it out and put it in the show notes for this actually, so you can have a look and see his facility. But man, I remember, Josh, because I flew in from the country. I was in my mum's Citroen C1, a little
Yes.
tiny red car. And we had to go all the way from Mid Wales to Manchester up to Thirsk, and like going. It was like pissing it down with rain as well, wasn't it? It was like literally
Was
like
that
it was
literally
just
the
like,
whole way? Yeah.
yeah. We couldn't
remember
see it in
that.
this little tiny little car.
I remember that. Yeah.
Oh dear, those are the days.
So in terms of who you train, mate, what does your average client look like?
Me.
And when I say look like, I don't actually mean, what do they look like?
Predominantly runners. So runners from 5k to ultra marathons mostly. But I mean, it's like everything in the fitness industry. I've got quite a broad spectrum of clients. To be honest, I've got the over 60s with a battle against arthritis. I've got overweight guys, mostly middle-aged men that I train. To be honest, I've only got a couple of female clients. I've got a few online clients, but they're all runners. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah. Oh, I've got a dragon boat racer.
Cool.
Nice.
And I've got a couple of newbies who want to get into running as well. So yeah, I cater for a lot of the running sports. Oh, cyclists as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. So as James just said, you were a coaching client with us a few years back. You've been a follower of our work for a while now, and since we started training trainers again ourselves, you've come back into the fold, and it's lovely to have you back. But what was your motivation for signing up for the hybrid coaching program?
I've always appreciated the angle that you guys come from into fitness. The way that you bring people in to the fitness and health and world. I like the basic the care, the empathy, and the route you're taking is a really unique route. Instead of just trying to get reps and sets and heavy weights out of people, you actually care about how they hold themselves in the world first. And I've always kind of resonated with that, because I think 90% of injuries and illnesses that are caused or happen throughout people's lives are caused by poor exercise regimes. Not just the lack of exercise and the sedentary lifestyles and the poor diets, but not really them knowing where to start. And I think you bring people into fitness in a really empathic way. Is empathic the right word? Empathic.
Empathetic.
Empathetic. There you go.
Yeah,
Empathetic.
yeah.
I can say that word.
I've always resonated with it.
Awesome.
I've always resonated with that.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Love it. Now, before we went off and met up in Essex, did you have any particular expectations for the weekend? Anything you were sort of really looking forward to learning? Any surprises?
I was surprised that you did an icebreaker. I love those so much.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
And you'll do another one, I'm sure, at the next meeting.
course.
That we
Always.
have. We'll all know each other, but we'll still have to fucking do it.
Yeah.
I'm going to swear as much as possible and give you a massive job of editing. I
It's
think.
fine. No, we'll leave it in. It'll just have the explicit title on it. That's all. It's absolutely fine.
Did I expect anything? No, I didn't. I didn't expect. I think it was best to go into these things with an open mind. I knew that you were coming from pretty much the same direction, but just a far more polished version of it, and that's what I was excited for. I think it's nice the way that you recognise that the hybrid idea is happening. People are training people online, and they're training them live one-to-one, and I think it's really important to have that kind of connection with clients. So finding a way to do that, as well as to enhance your work-life balance, I think is a massive thing, because it's very easy to get swallowed up in the fitness industry and become bogged down, unmotivated, and just overwhelmed. I think is the word, isn't it? That's used quite a lot in the fitness industry.
Yeah.
Overwhelmed. But yeah,
100%. Because we know the average. Yeah, we know the average life cycle of a new trainer is about 18 months in the industry, because they just get burnt out, which we obviously what we want to try and help people avoid. And as you said perfectly, John, get people that work-life balance. Isn't that right, James?
Yeah, exactly. It's why I'm doing what I'm doing. Honestly, like John, you know me from like when we did the original courses, from back 2016, 17, and they, like I said to all of you guys in the course, that like there was something not right with them. I wasn't happy in delivering them, because there was just something missing from what I wanted to create as part of the company, and we needed to go away and actually physically do it, as in actually do what it is online, train people again. And I miss training people again. I really did. I miss being in the trenches working with people. Because why I came in the industry like you with back pain, right? I found myself wanting to share it with people. Then I ended up going down a different path and not sharing it with anybody. And it was like, no, that's different. That's not why I got into this in the first place. And then we got back into the whole movement of like, well, how do we deliver this? And then seeing this idea of what I call fitness 3.0, where it's like, no, it's the full spectrum of training, like this 24/7 method. And like, how do we deliver it? And that's what we had to work out, to go back into doing the trenches and showing it, because we had to do that to come back and teach you guys again. Because I'm always a big believer in like, you lead from the front. No matter what sports you do and what everything, like you've got to lead from the front to be able to educate. Because a lot of people, again, you talk about the online coaches and trainers out there in the world who promise you 6 figures. Like none of them are doing some of this stuff. They're making money from selling these ideas and principles to people online, and they're just like just sleazy as just sleazeballs. I think that's the best way to describe it. So yeah, for us it was like going away and realizing, okay, now it's time to come back, because there is a big need for it, and because of the way COVID accelerated the need for this hybrid model, and we were doing this, but then we saw nobody else was doing it, and they were asking us, well, what's going on? And that's when we saw our need to come in and do it again. Plus, I'll be honest with you, we missed working with coaches. We missed working with idiots like you. How about that, John? How about that? That's just live on there. All right.
I'm a special kind of idiot.
Exactly, very special type that involves you. But no, it's true. That's exactly right. So we wanted to work with more idiots and share with the world everything that we were trying to do, and that's it. And and we're nowhere near polished, because that's the interesting thing is like everything works in house for us because we know the system so well. But the secret is to show other people like yourself, who's going through the course right now. I've done most of it. Simon, Saskia, Jürgen, Dennis, all those guys too. Like, well, how can they apply it? And then when they can apply it, then we've got something going, because anybody can apply it then, hopefully. Not because you're all idiots, but because we've got the system down.
You're the Pied Piper of idiots.
Exactly, that's me, yeah. That's me.
I like that. That's going to be now my new introduction for James, the Pied Piper of idiots.
I like it.
You're standardising the fitness industry, and I think it's really important to do that. I mean, if you've got a manual and you can read the manual and it tells you how to do it, and then you can use that as the basis to add your own individual flair. I think that's what's missing. Instead of this is how it's done, and this is our way, which is it's very much how things have been through the fitness industry. Everybody wants to show their way, and that's
exactly
way or no way. Instead of encouraging people to go and get some experience, go and learn some bits, and then apply them in your own way, and have a structure to do that, and also bridge that gap between the personal trainer and the clinicians, because that's a massive divide. It's a massive divide.
Yeah,
it shouldn't be, but it is. Yeah,
it is. You're always taught at PT school, isn't it? Go and get your referral network up and running, and the first thing that the referral network do is take all your clients off you.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so true.
That's what they do.
Yeah. But it is exactly right, and that's the important thing I realised with us is that what makes your fitness so unique is the individuality we all bring to it. We all have our quirks, and it's all about having that same resonance with different people, and different people like different things. But it's that you're singing from the same hymn sheet, as we say here in Wales, but you're literally applying your own magic pixie dust to make it unique, and that's the key. And that's how I want all my coaches to be. It's we created it because I wanted more coaches to come into Strength Matters. I'm not saying that you all come in because you've run your own successful business. It's not the point. But I want people to be able to do it like this, so it makes it more fun and interesting, and we come up with better ideas. And like I say, the system is just a framework, right? It's not saying you must do it. And you're right. I've been involved with so many cults of fitness. I think is the best way to describe it, and that's what it is. Guru who has an ego comes to the forefront and says, "You will do it this way because this is the best way, comrade." Take that as you will. Sorry, that just came out.
You've been doing it wrong is another one, isn't it? You've been doing it all wrong.
Yeah. No, and it's like you learn from everything. You must. There's different ways of doing things, and it's a framework to apply your own magic dust and ways to simplify it. Like I said, little things, just as frameworks to do your own warm-ups, activation stuff, whatever it is, but follow that framework to give you the ability to move forward. Like I say, because it's all about having more time, right? You want more time to go and do your crazy endurance events. I want more time to play cricket and go snowboarding. Josh wants more time to say hi to my mum every now and then, probably. I
was wondering where you were going to go with that. You could have just gone, to spend time with his family, but it had to be a mum joke, didn't it?
Yeah, I said it's my mum, though. I said it's my mum. That was it. But that's the key, and you just nailed it, John. I think that's exactly. I'm really glad you said that, because it's what we want to get across to people.
Yeah. That's what I like about it.
I like to think, James, we're sort of helping to raise the standards of the fitness industry somewhat, because we all know it's totally unregulated, and you can just do whatever you want. You don't even need a qualification to train people, because nobody will ever ask. Nobody will ever ask. You can just go and do whatever the hell you want.
I've never been asked. Someone may listen now and ask me for my qualification. I have no idea where it is. I can't even remember which PT school I went to. That's the honest answer. I was back in 2006 and 2007, maybe.
I can't remember which PT school you went to.
No, it was like some crappy little one. I think it was literally. It's like it was the cheapest one the police would help me pay for. That was it.
Brilliant.
So
brilliant.
There we go.
Indeed.
I can't remember.
Indeed. Well, John, apart from obviously your love of icebreakers, what was your biggest takeaway from the weekend, mate?
Oh, crikey. What's the biggest takeaway?
You must have learnt something.
I did. I'm still learning.
That's good. That's a good answer.
Yeah, I'm still learning, and I'm still thinking of how to put things in. But I like the way that your assessments or ideas of you've split it up, and you've got your mini assessment, your main assessment, and your the way to think about pricing things as well. That's super important, because pricing is a really difficult thing in the fitness industry, with so many pop-up hobbyists around charging next to jack shit, and and just making it difficult to make a living. I think quality. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
Offer quality, and bump your prices up. Have respect for what you do. And I think you're helping to install that in all of us who are doing the course at the minute. Is just getting that feel that we respect our business, and we respect our clients, and we want to help them as best we can. And I think that's been missing out the fitness industry for a lot of years.
Yeah. You've definitely been on it since the course, mate, because you've put a lot of posts in school. What was your things to do that you had to be accountable for?
It was. I've got them written here because I've got my book in front of me just in case you ask.
Oh, like it.
I like it. Yeah. Right, where is it? See, there's my sheet of paper. Still got it.
Nice.
Update True Coach. Get basic Excel up and running.
Nice.
Begin content. Introduce assessments into True Coach. Shoot whatever videos I need, and I can't read my own handwriting. How about that? It says like Paradigm Desires. I'm sure it says not.
Nice.
It doesn't say that.
Yeah.
Nice. I like it.
So yeah, and I've made a cracking start on those.
You have indeed. Like
Yeah,
I said,
yeah.
I've been posting
Jürgen
a lot in school.
and Dennis have got some keeping up to do.
Yeah. Actually, Jürgen hasn't posted for a while. He needs to get back on it. What's he
I
doing?
messaged him yesterday to make sure he's okay, and he said everything's getting really busy with work and stuff, and he will be back shortly, but he is alive. So thank God for that.
Good.
Thank
Good
God
to
for
know.
that.
Good to know.
But it's
have you put? No, go on, James. Go.
No, I was going to say, what's obviously, you're right. That's the biggest thing we learned. Like over the years, the more experience you get, the more things you take away, and is that splitting off the type of people you get in is like the 3 different types of assessments. The biggest thing for us now, where you give them full assessments if they're the high, in your case, high-end endurance athlete who loves data, who's like super keen. That's maybe the most appropriate. But for somebody who's middle-aged and wants to lose a bit of weight, maybe the middle assessment, the mini assessments are what's key. What have you found since doing these assessments with people? What's happened? What's changed from the client's perspective and also your perspective?
The simplification of programming has been a great one. The way that the Excel's the sheets and the I don't know what you call it, where you put all the data, where you input it all in, and then it gives you the pie chart of what's needed to be done.
The score.
And in what order. It just helps with that programming so much more. You can take things back and start playing a little bit more with things like balance, movement quality. So rolling around on the floor again. I mean, it's been so long since I've done that, and I've done more rolling around on the floor just recently than anything. Just ask my missus. But I think clients are really surprised by the kinds of things that I've got them doing. And I think I spent 45 minutes with one of my clients, and it was actually the guy who I was talking to you about on school, who basically hasn't really done a great deal other than work with me in the past, but now we're doing stuff that we spent 45 minutes laughing, effectively.
That's good.
Because we were doing crawling around the floor, baby crawls, rolling around, roll-ups, the 4-limb rollovers and stuff like that. His balance is shocking. So basically taking him to the mat and he's loving it. He's absolutely loving it. He was getting quite bored with what I was programming him before.
Yeah.
But now I've done this assessment, and it's kind of opened everything up again. So yeah.
Oh wow. Cool.
Awesome.
Have people taken anything on board, like stuff like they hadn't realised? Are they taking extra interest in some of the things that's going on? Because some people we've spoken to since the course, and they've said that it's inspired people to actually do their homework, as in go away and do extra stuff. Have you seen any take up with anything like that?
Yep, 100%. Because it's simplified. So 10,000 steps a day. That's one of the biggest. It's that same guy. I've got him doing 10,000 steps a day. I've got pretty much all of my clients now doing 10,000 steps a day, and they all tell me about it.
Hey,
they never used to communicate with me on TrueCoach, but now I've got them on WhatsApp and TrueCoach and Messenger, and I'm getting bombarded with 10,000 steps a day. I've got 18,000 today. And they're proper buzzing.
Love it. Have you had people do the 20-minute walk test?
Pardon?
Have you had people do the 20-minute walk test?
I have. Yep. And that's a surpriser as
on?
well. That's a surpriser as well. They think 2K is enough, and they're absolutely devastated. But I've combined it with the nasal breathing.
Yep.
Love it.
Brilliant.
So I've got a load of clients now walking around Thirsk looking insane, just breathing through their...
But that's exactly what we want. Like, it sounds not these mental people walking around with like holding their breath and like walking around like as fast as they can, like literally as if they're going in the Olympic Games. But that's how you improve the breathing a lot of time, is practicing it and doing something else that they're going to enjoy doing. And it's a challenge. Like, we've gamified walking essentially. Mm-hmm. That's what we were trying to do, is gamify walking, so it was a way they could do it, but also had a bigger meaning where walking speed is important for health and longevity, and if I'm being honest, health span. You don't want to be that guy who's 100 years old shuffling along. You want to be the guy who's like motoring along, like overtaking all the guys in their little scooters, like that they can't do at 100 years old. You want to be doing that sort of stuff. So walking speed is so important. So it's awesome. Like, again, it's something as simple as walking can be actually quite fun and a game for a lot of people. And it goes across the levels. It doesn't have to be an expert endurance athlete, for example. In your case, it can be Grandma Betty, who's still working at the same goals as well. Yeah.
I mean, I still nasal breathe in my training because it's a big endurance thing to diaphragmatic breathe, and I think that's a great thing about it. It teaches people to diaphragmatic breathe effortlessly.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Brilliant.
Do you think has it helped you so far? Then, sort of build a hybrid coaching, expand your hybrid coaching business, so you can get more, as you say. Clients didn't used to respond to you as much. They seem to be doing more outside now, sending you messages. Is it helping you out so far?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's definitely helping me. Yeah.
Nice, awesome. I like that. That's exactly what we want people to happen.
Yeah.
Like the whole purpose is like the whole purpose is to help everybody like grow and scale a hybrid coaching business. So like if it's helping you with that.
In a fun way.
Yeah, well, hopefully in a fun way, yeah.
Like I said, 45 minutes pretty much rolling around the floor just laughing our bloody heads off.
Yeah.
This is helping you with your balance.
Brilliant.
Are there any sort of, when you put your clients through the assessments, are there any similarities, or like a lot of people poor on balance? Are there sort of hips, anything's coming up regularly?
Most people are poor on balance, and most people breathe really badly. A lot of mouth breathers, especially desk workers.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. Athletes tend to be a lot more clued into breathing well. Probably got better. Yeah, they've got better balance, better coordination. They're less fearful of exercise. I think an issue is exercise has always been punishment for being unhealthy. And that's how it's viewed. It's we've got to kind of push past that and say, well, exercise helps you get healthier and enjoy your life a lot more, as opposed to this punishment thing.
Yeah, totally. So do you think it's helping your clients get more clarity on why they're doing what they're doing as well?
Yeah. it's education, isn't it? All the way. It's education. That's the main thing to do with your clients is you teach them what they're doing. You tell them what they're doing. If you can't explain the reason you're giving an exercise, then you're giving them the wrong exercise, or you're not good enough at what you're doing.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it is. That's the same with us. Like it's understanding where the clients are on the life cycle journey to know when to introduce these certain things. Because there's I always say it time and time again, we're responsible for having the curse of knowledge. We've been in the industry for such a long time. We know so much information, but sometimes we forget to empathise and put ourselves back in the shoes when they first started, where they don't know anything about this. Like nasal breathing is a good example. A lot of people, it's a bit more common now because it's now trendy and fashionable, like sleep was a few years ago. Like nasal breathing is the trendy, fashionable thing at the moment, where everyone's taping their mouth up and doing that stuff. But it's there for a reason. It's people now know it's important. But sometimes you need to earn the right to talk to people about that. So you can't just go, hey, take your mouth up and like hold your breath or do all that sort of stuff because they'll think you're crazy because they don't understand it. So you've got to understand where to scale them up along their educational journey because the more you scale their education, the more they'll buy into what you're doing and the more they'll help themselves. And again, everything comes down to education. Education is the key to solving the obesity crisis, in my opinion. But the problem is, at the very top, this is a really random tangent, they haven't got any educational knowledge themselves about what to do. So therefore, it's a big problem. Enough of that, because we can talk about it for hours. So there we go.
It's helped. I think when you're doing exercise like this and you've got this kind of definite program and it's what's the word? Organic. It's not the word. Evolutionary sort of program.
Yeah.
It's an evolutionary program, and it takes people from here, and it nice and easily flows them there. It helps you with the rapport with your clients as well. Because you're not doing stuff with them that's way above their capability. And it isn't long before they start seeing, results, but the results aren't in a mirror necessarily. They're all either on the inside or, it's in activities of daily life. And life's difficult enough. And I think that's a big thing I'm getting back from quite a few of my clients is how it's making them feel when they're moving around their own home, walking up and down stairs, getting things out of cupboards, bending down, not putting the back out. They're actually squatting down, and it's
the simple stuff like that I really love. It's like the stuff that gives me real joy is when someone's they haven't got their elbow pain anymore, or their plantar fasciitis is gone, or they can walk upstairs without being out of breath. I don't care how much you can bench and squat. It's the simple things, in life, helping them be better at life that I really love.
Yeah, resting heart rate's a big one for me. When I see someone's resting heart rate come down from 70 plus to sub 56, it's like that's awesome. That's what we're talking about. I know people may go, well, that's how that you can do it something, but no, it's that impact is how it helps shows me they're recovering faster, and they're healthier in themselves day to day. That's the key things, and it's everyone has different things. It's great seeing a client do an amazing race. Teresa Warren's a good example. She does amazing races all the time. I love it. I love watching her doing those things, but it's the little things that she improves on that I like the best. Like improve mobility here, improve stability somewhere else. Those little things, those little tangibles, that's the big difference. And some people may not even know anything about or notice the difference, but for us as trainers, that's the thing, that's the difference.
Helping someone get up off the floor well.
Yeah. Absolutely.
A couple of over 60s clients with arthritis who I'm taking through the Turkish get-up. And they're getting up off the floor so much better. And one of them is incredibly overweight. He's that full of different kinds of drugs. You're not going to beat the weight and the inflammation and the water retention, but he moves incredibly well. He does, and he really does. Working towards that ability, later on in life, there's a possibility that you may fall over, but if you've got a chance of getting up off the floor yourself, you've got a chance.
Well, that's life. That's life saving, isn't it, James? Because as you have mentioned,
just extended your life by,
that's such an
a
important
year or 2 years
skill.
or 4 years or whatever.
Yeah, because you've experienced that as obviously
Oh,
as a
yeah.
former police officer.
Exactly. Biggest things in London, like claps behind closed doors, happened every day, multiple times a day, up to 20 a day sometimes. So it's
20 a day.
Yeah, in different regions.
Wow.
Yeah, mate, imagine London, like it's
Yeah.
that was just in Brixton. That was let alone the whole of London. You're talking
Wow.
hundreds a day,
Easily.
in some cases. So it's mental. So
No, stuff like that is life changing. I love that, John.
Yeah.
So just before we wrap this little doozy up, if there are any trainers out there, mate, listening in who are thinking about doing the HCP, what would you say to them?
Don't waste your time doing anything else. To be fair.
I thought you were about to say, don't waste your
Don't
time
waste your
doing
money.
it. It's like, Sophia,
Everything else-
edit that bit out, edit.
Everything else is utterly pointless. If you really care about people and you want an evolutionary method for helping people, not just in everyday life, but extend their lives, improve their quality of life, and make a massive difference in the fitness industry, then the HCP is definitely the way to go. I can see it. I wouldn't be doing it myself if I didn't believe that. And yeah, it's 100% do that.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Mate, out of interest, mate, from all the stuff, obviously you've seen a snippet of the stuff coming in now, and you've seen some of the videos coming out and everything. What are you most excited to learn more about when the videos actually come out? Because obviously we're in the middle of building it out at the moment.
Oh, you've caught me. I haven't looked enough.
I like doing that.
He's excited about everything.
Everything.
Everything, yes. The whole thing, the whole shebang. The whole shebang.
Cool. Nice. I like that.
Where the pipe is going to lead us idiots next.
Well, that's what he's trying to figure that out. Like, so you should have seen some of the stuff. We've got literally live at the moment. There's more videos coming to final edits for module 3, which is going out here now. I know where module 4 is going, and it's all pretty much done. But then I've got the module 5 and 6, and I'm going, I've got some good ideas now. I want to change the little things. So the Pied Piper is changing his route as he goes along a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it will evolve as we go, won't it? We've got a plan, a rough plan, but it will evolve.
It is, and that's the whole thing. That's why we're going from the ground up with the help of you guys on board as early adopters. It's like you're guiding us on where to go next, and that's the beauty of it. It's like, again, you said it right at the start, mate. People, these other courses gurus say, this is my course, you will do this, you'll follow this, done. Where we're going like a classic software model of like we're learning from you guys to go through it and go, right, no, what's impactful here? Okay, this is useful, great. So therefore, where should we go next? Where's the next stage that you need? So it's going to your needs as opposed to what we think you need.
I think that collaboration of coaches, the multitude of coaches that are in school as well, and there's some serious intelligence in there. Some great ideas and some really cool talking topics, and it's good to come away from that noise of Facebook and social media. And I think as a group and a reference point, and I don't think anybody should be scared to ask a question in there.
Yeah.
Because without a doubt, you're going to get one hell of a cracking answer to whatever question you've got going in there. And I love it, and I love everybody's attitude towards it as well. I think we're all pretty much singing off the same hymn sheet. I really do. And I'm a legend as well, aren't I? So
you're a legend, exactly. Yeah, you are.
Yeah, you are. Yeah,
mate. Guess what you haven't done? I was going to bring that up. That was my final thing I was going to bring up. I was going to say, have you forgotten to do something? Because the rules are, you get a notification about your level 5 legend status. You need to send me a message on school so I can send you your T-shirt. You haven't done it.
I'll get on it. I didn't know about that.
There you go.
So there you
go. That's what write that down.
Exactly.
A thing to do.
Go onto Classroom. Go into Classroom. Click on Legend Status T-shirt, which is now unlocked, and have a look to see what comes up.
Okay.
There we go. And then we can get your legend, another Strength Man's legend. Because there you go. For those who don't know about this, like, it's funny what people will do for T-shirts. Right, it is. It's so
coffee
funny.
mugs
And coffee mugs and stuff like that. So we put in the inner circle. So strengthmanners.com/inner circle if you want to see what it's all about and be involved with part of it. But the idea is that the more you contribute, the more you give back to the community, the more we reward you. So you open little layers, like layer 1, layer 2. So layer 1 is a rookie, layer 2 is like, I can't remember, layer 3 is a ninja, I know that much, level 4 is a samurai, and then level 5 is a legend. So when you get to level 5 legend status, you get a t-shirt, and people are now contributing like crazy and like coming in and sharing comments and feedback just because they want that t-shirt. So we're going to come up with some good ideas for level 6 and level 7 now, Josh, because we've got quite a few legends suddenly.
We do indeed, don't we? We need,
You've got to put a medal in there
prizes for those.
You've got to put a medal in there.
Yeah,
medal.
Yeah. There we go. Stick man's medal or badge. How about that?
Like it.
So
I
on
like
patch.
Yeah, so on patch. There we go.
So on
Lots of
patches.
ideas.
Or if Mike Hickman was on the podcast, he'd be moaning about not getting his coaster.
Yeah,
from
exactly.
years ago.
Maybe let's have a coaster.
Yeah. Oh look, John's got a coaster.
Hey, look at that! Yeah, just on my mate, John, put that in school. Please take a picture and tag Mike Hickman. Going, hey mate, there's my Strength Matters coaster. Please do that.
I've got a mug as well. I've got the mug as well.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant! It will
Do
annoy
that.
the hell out
Please,
of him.
that'll annoy him like crazy. So
Can you screenshot this?
no, it won't come up very well because if you can take a picture on your phone, I know it's a little bit too tech savvy for you, mate. I know that, and I appreciate that because you like Josh. But
Hey.
Right, I'll do
love
that.
it.
Look at me with my AirPods. Look at me with my AirPods now. Come on.
yeah, I know. So it goes. No, that's awesome. It is true, John. It's you're only as good as the community you surround yourself with, and that's the key thing. Like, and again, I talk to everyone. You know, a few people have asked why we're doing. You know, for example, the module 1 and 2 and 3 essentially in the HCP is all about client avatar and you crafting your core message and like making sure you articulate it correctly. But the reason we do that, right, for coaches and trainers out there who are part of the School Inner Circle membership, is you have everyone who's like-minded, and it creates an environment like John just described. You with me, John? So that is why we're doing it. The better your client avatar is, and you can define it, the better you craft, articulate that message, the more people you attract. And the more people you attract, you'll create this environment for learning, training, working out, you name it. That's what we're trying to do. So that's kind of a good bit of feedback, because now we've got that message right, we want to attract more people like it. So for us, it's experienced coaches, 5+ years service, you know, all clinicians out there as well who've got experience and come together and are like-minded. Not beginners, it's experienced trainers and coaches and clinicians. So there you go.
Yeah,
perfect.
Absolutely. And if experienced trainers, coaches and clinicians want to find out more, James, where do they go?
strengthmatters.com/inner circle. How about that? And you get a free book. We'll give you a bunch of free books. And if you decide to take us out for a trial, we'll even give you a coffee mug on me. A limited edition one, which you can only get via that. There you go.
Everyone loves a good coffee mug, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. John, thank you so much for taking your time out of your day to do this for us. I promise I will not ask you to do another icebreaker again.
I can't promise that.
James, the Pied Piper of Idiots might ask you to do that, but...
Exactly.
James,
that's officially the Pied Piper of Idiots. That is my tagline.
Yeah, it's official. It's official. James, thank you as well. Thank you guys for listening. Until next time.